Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Binance Live AMA. I'm your host today. My name is Daniel, and I'm currently residing in Belgium. I'm a Binance Angel. And today we're going to discuss the topic of DYOR. DYOR meaning do your own research. And this is a good one. Um, I'm a research student myself, so I love this. I love this topic, and I could talk about it for hours. But today is not about me. Today is about the two guys that are with me, Alt and Paul. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey man,
Hey,
we're doing fine
Uh,
actually. Thanks for inviting us. I've got one short notice. We need to join the Discord as well to talk to our Discord people.
oh, we're doing that as well right now, live.
Yes. So we're live on Discord as well as on the Binance Live page.
Right. Oh, by the way, little disclaimer on Discord: we're not currently showing our screen. So on Binance Live, you can see everything we're doing, and on Discord, you cannot. So that's a little disclaimer for you. All
Let me
right,
see though, because we have to join it. How do we start the event itself? I think you have to do it.
all right, great. Let me do that, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But we're moving forward as we try to install our server on Discord as well, guys. Do your own research is a big topic, obviously very important topic within crypto. Maybe it's a good idea if you tell a little bit about yourself, why people should listen to the stuff we're saying today and that's being discussed today from you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. First of all, um, just like you said, the do your own research and researching coins in general in crypto is something that's extremely important. But we always feel that not that many users know how to do it, even though just like the major parts are pretty easy to do. Um, and that's why we're here tonight with Binance to share some like the way we do some research. We're actually with the two of us, so it's me. Call me Alt, and we're together with Paul. And we both run the Alt Crypto Gems Twitter page. And what we do on a daily basis is sort of searching gems, searching good coins that we think are um, coins that we want to invest our money in. And we usually share the coins that we think are good coins. However, as you all probably know, there are so many scams and rug pulls in crypto. Um, so that's why we got invited by you guys, by Binance, to share some of our research process, show how we find new coins, what are some easy um, sort of things to notice to see whether it's a scam or a rug pull or whether we think it's something that's a project that's going to moon. So yeah, that's why we're here. Like I said, we're with the two of us. It's me and Paul. Paul is actually the person who does a lot of research on a daily basis. So even at some factors, he knows more than me. Um, yeah.
yeah, basically,
Paul,
yeah,
yeah, Paul, can you introduce yourself? Yeah, good.
yeah, I help out most of the time, and mostly I do the night shifts as well, and I look at the tokens, at the contract, I look at the tokenomics, I look at the community, different factors to see if decide if something is good or not, and it always depends on so many variables, and that's what we have to define what is good and what is bad, and then take a educated bet if it has upside potential or not. So
Well, the thing that sort of amazes us the most is that there's always going to be coins that slip through um, our research as well. You can't have 100% good coins or coins that aren't rugging or turn out to be like a dump fest. But there are some easy things or small things to do, which sort of gets rid or filters out 95% of the scams already. And those are really easy things to do, really easy to spot, um, uh, which we think everyone should know and everyone needs to know to get rid of the scams and get rid of the rug pulls that are happening on the entirety of crypto, to be honest.
Yeah, take a look at, for example, liquidity locks, or tokenomics, wall distribution, or itself the basic functions of a contract. It, most of the times, most scammers are quite lazy and use the exact same methods most of the time. The most common one right now is the supply, where the team or friends and family own a significant amount of the supply, and then when they're done, you see these huge red candles, and of course you can't always distinguish if this is going to happen at some point, but you can assume and then take steps before to just prevent the damage that it can do.
Yeah, for
Right, right.
sure.
So,
One small thing, Daniel, you're still not on the
yeah,
stage on Discord. Oh yeah, now you are. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
I'm looking into it, but I'm not sure if they can because there's an echo, so I'm not sure if they can hear me. But please let me know in the Discord. But by the way, guys, I wanted to ask before we kick this off. I hear a subtle difference in your accents. How did you guys meet, actually?
That's a long story actually. We're both from the Netherlands, and I started the let me see. I started with crypto in, I think, 2016. I bought a first Bitcoin, or just a part of Bitcoin, and never really looked at it anymore. And then during the, I think, end of 2020, when DeFi started getting interesting and there was a lot of hype behind it, I well, sort of invested and looked up some gems and invested in a couple coins that made me quite a bit of money. And then BSC and BNB sort of exploded the beginning of 2021. And at that time, I wanted to keep track of the coins I bought or sold without really opening an Excel sheet every time. And for that reason, I started the Twitter channel. Not really because I wanted to share it or anything, but just as a sort of bookkeeping for myself. So whenever I bought a coin, I would post it on my Twitter, and then whenever I sold the coin, I posted on my Twitter to see whether I made profit, what profits I made. So I could always look back and see what coins I invested in. That was the idea. Um, and then after, I'm not even sure, but I think after a week or 2 weeks, the followers just started to grow, and eventually I got a couple thousand followers. And from that moment on, I thought, wow, people really want to see this. So, and I really like doing it. So I just kept on going by sharing the coins I invested in, and it sort of exploded. And then the entire BSC and BNB ecosystem exploded with that. So my channel grew, and then just at one random day, Paul actually sent me a DM saying, "Hey man, I like your Twitter. Do you need someone to help you with it, or sort of scan the coins with you? Because as you know, BSC in the beginning was a scam fest. There were so many scams and rug pulls happening. So Paul sent me a message saying, "Hey man, do you want me to help you sort of scan the coins?" Which I thought was great. So I just sent a couple coins to Paul, and he spotted so many scams, which I actually didn't. So from that moment on, we just started to sort of work together, and whenever we found a coin, we just share it. And that's basically how we found each other. And that's 1.5 years ago, I think, or somewhere May 2021, I think.
Yeah, it was
We started
around
working
May.
together. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
May, I think. And pretty much from that moment on, we just sort of spoke with each other every day, and are doing this together now. Um, and the most funny part is we're both from the Netherlands, but we haven't actually ever met. We we know what we look like, but we have never actually met in real life.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm more from the north, and my first
yeah.
language is not Dutch; it's Frisian, and
There we
I
go.
have a slight
All right.
distinguishable accent, and I studied abroad a lot, so I
Thanks for
sound a
clearing
little
that up,
American.
because I was yeah, because I was already thinking, wow, I put a lot of effort in my English, but I'll never sound like that. So my confidence was declining a little bit. But all right, guys, thank you so much for that. But so today's an AMA, right? We're gonna discuss a little bit about your process. And I think it's fun if you explain a little bit about the basics of what you do, so that people can react on it. So basically, the second part of this AMA will be the pre-submitted questions. The pre-submitted questions came in through Discord. So the people that are members of our Discord Benelux channel, they were able to send in some questions through a link And these questions we'll use at the beginning. So the questions that came in from that from the Benelux Discord channel from Binance, they will be answered. They will come up definitely. And then after we did the pre-submitted questions, we'll do the live questions. So that means that the questions that come in the live comment section on the right, so people can send in stuff right now. I can see a lot of people messaging us. Hi, Noma. Hi, I see you. Hello, guys. All right, BNB is the best. I agree, man.
Needs
That's good.
BNB.
Needs
coffee.
BNB, man. I feel you. All right. So basically, you can send in the questions in the live chat as well. One of my colleagues is looking into that, and yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see a question. Can we speak Dutch as well? So sorry, guys, we cannot speak Dutch simply because the Benelux region that we're doing this AMA for, right? But also for everyone else who's joining us, by the way. There are also French people in the Benelux, so that's why we try to include everyone, and that's why we speak English. So sorry, we cannot move on to Dutch. So yeah, but that being said, so I hope the outline is clear, and then I think Alt and Paul, you can walk us through like the basic steps of your process, because I think it's good to have a picture of how you do things. I think you mentioned already that earlier offline, that you have a process, and you have a process that you think not many people are aware of, and I think people will be interested in that process, since
Yeah, for sure. I guess I can share my screen in a bit and then just sort of talk about the basic stuff, and then it might be easy for everyone to understand. And then whenever Paul has something that he thinks I haven't mentioned, we can just add it on. Just one small thing. I think people can't hear you on Discord, Dan. So just for everyone on Discord, be sure to move to the Binance Live link. Whenever you go to Binance.live, I think you're able to see the stream, or let me see if there's a link, or just my Twitter page posted it there as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I open both, there will be an echo. So guys from Discord, please come to Binance Live. We have your questions, so we haven't forgot about you, and yeah.
Yeah. Let me share my screen real quick. Do you have any certain questions, or do you want me just to show something about the like the Binance chain itself, or something we do?
Yeah, I think if you just start doing like a regular process that you go through when doing research, I think maybe some of the users that are listening to this, they're very experienced and may know some of this stuff, but maybe like the average user, or like they want to know where to start, and how to move forward from there. So yeah, I think if you just start from the beginning and walk us through.
Let me share my screen real quick. Yep. I think we have to wait a bit to see when it's done. Let me see. Is everyone able to see my screen? Would be great if someone could just. Yeah. Okay. First of all, what I want to show, which is a question we get on a regular basis, probably daily, is how to spot new coins. Like the gems we're posting sometimes are really low market cap, and basically everyone's always asking, how do you find new coins? How do you find coins that are low market cap? What website do you use? And basically that question. And something which is really easy to do, and I guess not many people know, is we all probably know bscscan.com. If you don't, it's basically the explorer for the BNB chain. And what we do, or what I do on a regular basis, is whenever you go to the top and you go to tokens and then the view BEP20 transfers, if you click that, these are all the transfers, all the transactions that are going through at like every second. As you can see, it updates, I think, every 10 seconds. So now it's 10 seconds ago. So if we refresh that, as you can see, it keeps on changing.
Oh my.
And the way to sort of start or spot new coins is by simply going to this page and having a look at the tokens itself, and then seeing whether the tokens have a what do you say, an icon. And you may think this is really basic, and it really is. But that way you can see tokens that are sort of alive for a while. They have a logo, so you can see the icon here for the BUSD. Nimbus has a logo, so you know these coins are probably already settled and pretty old already, if you know what I mean. So this is just a small thing, and what I then do is whenever you open a coin, so let's say these have icons, these have icons. Let's open. Wait, that says it's a honeypot. That's not really nice. Let's open Magicraft, for example. I have no clue what this coin is or what it does. It can be a rug pull, I don't know. But since it has no icon, it might be a new coin. So I just click the coin itself. And then you're getting more information on the coin, the project. And what you're seeing right now is the contract itself, how many, the total supply, so how many coins there are, how many holders actually have the MCRT coin, and how many transfers there have been. Now, what you can see is there's 10K holders, which means it's a really, it's a settled coin already. I mean, 10K holders is pretty big. So this is a coin I would usually just click away because I know it's a more like big project already. I mean, 260K transfers is a lot. So this is just something really easy to see, and right now I would say not something I'm going to invest in because it's way too big already. So I just go back.
I have a quick question. All
Yeah.
right. So, what would be the threshold of holders that you're looking for? Like, is there like a 5K or like 2K? What would be something that you look out for?
If you want to spot small coins, I'd seriously say something like 500 to 1K holders. 1K is probably a lot already, but it's like it's not really a set threshold because there are more factors. For example, if we are refreshing this certain coin, you can see the coin itself is pretty active. Like the last transaction was 35 seconds ago, 1 minute ago, 7 minutes ago. As you can see, it's pretty active. So whenever you found a coin that has a lower amount of addresses, let's say the last transaction that happened was 2 days ago, then you know the coin is dead. Because if there's no transactions in a couple days, then don't bother investing, if you know what I mean. So I
Yeah.
can't really say it's a threshold that whenever it's below 1,000 or something like that, then it's an investment. But there are more factors to it. But I'd say let's have a look at, for example, something that has 500 holders. Let me show it again. Let's see. We should be able to get one. Like as you can see, has an icon, has an icon, has an icon. CPI, no clue what it is. Let's see what it does. 7K, so that's a pretty big one as well. What's this Momo mystery? 81K. So these are pretty big actually.
I think there's a
And
small delay on the chat.
Oh yeah, that's probably. Let me see if I can find something. These are pretty big as well. And usually what I do is open these coins with the middle mouse button. So whenever you hover your mouse over the coin and then just click the middle mouse button, it opens it in a new tab. So let's say I click this one with the middle mouse button. As you can see, it opened in a new tab. So I just go through all these. I click them, the ones that do not have a logo, and then you're able to scan it a lot faster. 5K, too big. 1K, getting lower, but still too big. This might be something. Too big, too big, too big, and too big. And as you can see, let's take this one for example. This one has a lot of transactions as well. So because it's 14 seconds ago, 20 seconds ago, so you know this token has some hype behind it. So let's say I'm sort of interested in this coin, then you really want to see the chart itself because you want to know what the market cap is, what's happening with the chart. So what we then do is open PooCoin. It's basically a website where you're able to see charts on the BSC chain. just a small reminder, I'm getting some questions from people that are asking this website. What's this website? It's called bscscan.com. It's the explorer for all the BNB chain. But let's say we take this one, this coin. What you then do is you have the contract address over here. There's a small little copy address button. You paste it in over there, and you can see it says token runner. And now you're able to see the chart itself. Yeah, what you're seeing on here is the price for one token at the top. You're seeing the total supply, the market cap itself, and the total liquidity. And just by opening this chart, if I would ask you, Daniel, what would you say about the chart? Do you think it looks good?
I mean, it's on a downfall, so I would say no.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I'm not saying a downfall is always bad and you shouldn't invest in it, but the way this is going right now, because as you can see, it launched like one and a half hours ago, and pretty much from the start out, it just dumped and it kept on dumping. So yes, you're able to invest in this coin. However, it's really risky because you have to sort of catch the bottom. But who says this token is not going to dump to 1 cent, for example?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, catching a bottom is always catching a knife. It's
Yeah.
quite difficult. The ratio is good though. There's a good 800k
Yeah.
M cap, and there's 225 LP, which is also locked, which is decent. But yeah, it's probably a pre-sale or private sale that is dumping right now, and you want to wait what's going to happen and how's the community and how's the optimism there, and then make a decision if you want to go in or not. But also the taxes are quite low, 1 to 2%. That's actually quite low, so it's not too bad. But
yeah. Basically, what Paul just said. As you can see, there's a market cap and there's a amount of money, which is 224k in the liquidity pool. And what this means is the market cap is sort of the value of the total value of the coin itself. And the liquidity pool means basically how much money there is in a pool where you're able to trade the coin itself. And what you really want is a sort of at least 10% of the market cap to be in the liquidity pool itself. So let's say the market cap is 800k like it is right now, then you want to have at least 80k liquidity. Because sometimes what you're going to see is there's a coin which has 1 million market cap and the liquidity itself has 5k or something. Then you know it's not a good ratio. Don't invest in it because you're not going to be able to buy anything, and the coin is probably either it's sort of manipulated. So that's a good thing to remember. Keep it at I'd say at least 10% of the market cap in liquidity. And something else Paul just said is the taxes are pretty low. What this means is whenever you're buying a token, there are buy and sell taxes usually, and you just pay those taxes, those sort of percentages to the owner of the coin. So what does this mean? If there's a 1% buy tax whenever you're buying the coin, you're paying 1% more or getting 1% less, just however you want to see it. And that 1% goes to the owner of the coin, to a marketing wallet or something like that. And the same goes for selling. So when you have a 1% sell tax, you're losing the 1% to the owner of the coin. And those are the blue lines, as you can see. Those are the ones that sort of have the taxes calculated in them. So these are really small, but sometimes you actually have taxes of 15%, 20%. So then you have to remember that whenever you're buying a coin, you're paying 20%. And whenever you're selling a coin, you're paying 20% as well. So basically, in order to make profit on that just one trade, it needs to pump at least 40%. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Ask a quick question about that one? So these taxes, are these like above the fees that you pay already?
Yes. Say you have let's say 1k for example, and there's a let's keep it easy. There's a 10% buy tax. Basically you're paying the 1k, but you're only getting $900 worth of the coin, and the 10%, like the $100 that you're not getting, goes to the usually the owner of the coin itself, which goes to a marketing wallet or a developer wallet, something like that. And that's on top of the transaction fees. So yes, say you have $1,000, you're paying, let's say, $1 transaction fee, and then on top of that, the 10% buy tax.
Yeah, the fees are always split
so
up in most in like dev, marketing, liquidity, and sometimes, well, it used to be a trend more also go into reflections or the classic RFI code, and then give the holders some kind of reflections. But these days, yeah, some people ask a lot of marketing fee or liquidity fee.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if if the buy tax is below 10, that's good. If the fees are low,
Right.
that's best. That's the best way to get more volume on it, because it always has to be a little bit of tax on it. Because if there's no tax, you have the opportunity that bots will front run you, which is also, it's more of an issue on Ethereum than on BSC, but it's definitely there. So
Right. Okay. And all these coins have taxes on them, like all of them.
depends on the contract. You can check in the contract exactly what taxes
Yeah.
are being paid
Right.
on the buy and sell. It's also a risk because, of course, the contract owner can, if it's not renounced, of course, set the sell tax to 99. And then it's basically a honeypot. That's always a risk. And of course, you can sell limiters in the contract, but not a lot of them have it. So it's always something to keep an eye out for.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
This is interesting stuff, guys.
Let me see, something that's really, like I said, it's probably easy for everyone to spot and sort of get rid of the most of the scams is the taxes, by the way, are shown at the top as well. I actually didn't know that. I only saw the chart, but you can actually turn them on and off on PooCoin, as you can see. We talked about the liquidity pool and what the liquidity pool does. Sort of easily said is it enables you to trade the coin. It's a pool with the coin itself and like USDT or money in which you're able to trade. And whenever that liquidity pool is gone, you can't sell your coin anymore. So liquidity pool itself is really important for a coin. Because if someone takes out all liquidity, then you're stuck with your coins, which are absolutely useless because you can't sell them anymore. So something that's really important is knowing where liquidity is locked. And what does this mean? Whenever it's locked for a certain amount of time, then no one is able to take out the liquidity. So you're able to trade. And I can actually show you an example how to find that of a coin I talked about today. Let me see. I talked about on my Twitter page today. This one, for example, it was a coin I posted, which I just spotted by sort of researching BSC scan and found the coin itself, which I thought was a good coin. And as you can see, the chart itself, I actually called it pretty late already. I called it 60K market cap. And it's at 200K market cap right now. So there's actually a pretty good pump. As you can see, just another example, say we take the market cap of 200K, we take the 10% liquidity rule, it's 17.5K. I mean, we said 10%, but I'm sure you understand that if it's 9% or something like that, it's fine as well. But keep in mind that it has to be around 10%. So what you want to know is, has this liquidity been locked? Yes or no? And if it has been locked, has it been locked for more than 1 day, 2 days, or something like that? So what you do is you have the token itself. You click the holders button next to the LP part. So you click that. And then you can see these are the percentages of total liquidity. So 84% of the total liquidity has been locked into this contract address. So we click that. And then you're able to see all transactions into that contract address. And right now you can see there's a method which says lock tokens. So this transaction that's happening right here is the lock itself, the liquidity lock transaction. So you want to see how long has this been locked. So what we do, we open a transaction hash. and this is the entire like all the information on the lock itself. But there's a small part that no one actually really clicks, which is the click to see more part. You click that, and then you're getting some raw input data, and there's a really easy button which BSCs can implement it, which is the decode input data. We click that, and now it transferred all the sort of gibberish into readable characters. And as you can see, this which says the two part says unlock time. So what this means is there's a transaction which locks the entire liquidity pool, which has a certain unlock time. And the data it says behind the unlock time is this. Now you might be thinking, okay, what's the numbers? What can I do with the numbers? If you, this is actually a timestamp in epoch. So you want to convert this number to a specific date or time. And how do we do that? We simply Google and say epoch, which is EPOCH, time converter. I guess it's the first one. Yep, that's fine. And as you can see, there's a number here. So we're going back to the token itself. Let me see which one. It was this one. We copy the unlock data part. We paste that in here. And we say make a human date. And as you can see, I'm not sure if I should be doing this so it's easy for people to read actually. It says this epoch timestamp is actually on Friday, the 11th of August in 2023. So from now, it's in a year. So what we now know is the liquidity itself, 84% of the liquidity has been locked because we've seen the actual transfer or the transaction, which is this one. And it unlocks in about a year. So the 11th of August, 2023. Let me zoom in so people can see this as well. So this is good because right now we know the liquidity can't really be rug pulled or taken out because it's going to be locked for at least a year. So in August 2023, the owners of the coin or the ones that provided the liquidity are able to take out the liquidity, but then we're 1 year further. So you know people can't actually take out the liquidity in a day or 2 days, which means you're able to sell your token itself for at least a year. So this is good. This is why I actually promoted it and thought it was gonna fly, which it apparently did. So yeah,
That's awesome.
and another example, real quick example right here. You can see this one had a 8% buy tax and sell tax. You're able to see it at the top and the little blue lines. So what this means is whenever you're buying the coin, you're losing 8% when you're buying it, and you're losing 8% when you're selling it. But I mean, if you're getting a 3x, 4x in a day on this coin, then you don't really mind the taxes. But that's a different story.
I've one couple of quick thoughts because we see a lot of numbers, we see a lot of graphs, we see a lot of percentages, right? But what is this like what else do you research about a project except for the numbers? But do you base all of your analysis, stuff like that, on the numbers that you see? Is that enough, or do you use other tools as well?
I wouldn't say it's enough, but it's a sort of filter to get rid of, let's say 90% of the scams. So right now, when you're at this part of the research, so you know the liquidity is locked, you know the taxes are all right, and you know the liquidity has a decent rate to the market cap. One thing you want to do, which we saw, was see the transactions. So whenever you click the chic transactions button, you're able to see all the transactions that's happening with the contract itself. And as you can see, it's 14 seconds ago, minutes ago. So we know this token is active. So say all these boxes have like checked and we think this is good. We know the sort of the numbers and the on-chain research is good, is all right. We think it's going to be a good coin. Might be able to buy this. Something else you want to do is check the community and check the socials. So what I want to say with that is you can have a really good coin, you can have a really good utility, but if you have no sort of community to back it, or a way to market it, then it's pretty much useless. So what you want to have is a really good social commitment or community or something like that. So what you want to do is check the socials, see whether they have a Twitter, see whether they have a Telegram, stuff like that. Do they have a Telegram? Is it a Telegram that has some traction in it? Or is it a fully botted Telegram? The same goes for Twitter. Do they actually post something on Twitter? Basically stuff like that, if you know what I mean. I can't really
So
show
I
the
have one,
Telegram,
a couple of thoughts, because I've been in communities, various communities as well, and
yeah.
there seems to be some sort of optimistic, sometimes, not always, but there seems to be a lot of optimism in these groups. How do you filter through that and make sure that the community is not like falsely optimistic, and let's say they are like rational and objective?
Um, you mean how can you see whether it's legit or whether it's fake people, or do you mean
No.
there's
More
a
like there's like sometimes there's like false optimism when people are invested in something. They think this is going to be it. This is, there's like that is the only thing they see. But how do you make sure that you're in a community and that everyone is like, what would you look for in those types of situations?
basically what I would say is that optimism is good in a crypto world, but too much optimism is bad. And pretty much exactly what you're saying is if there's too much optimism and people are just way too happy and think it's going to go moon, eventually it will dump. Let's be honest.
Yeah, what goes up goes down, and
Yeah,
it only
exactly.
takes a matter of time. And of course, after a amount of threshold, definitely if the early buys are up considerable, the more they go up, the more sell pressure they'll meet, and after a while, you just cannot keep up, and it will start topping, and then it will most likely go down for a bit. And also because, of course, these are very low cap, the potential, most of them don't last very long. You ride these high waves as long as possible and trying to get your multiples your profit from that, and then go on to the next. Risk management is very, very important when it comes to these low cap coins.
Yeah, that's something else that I wanted to talk about is the risk management part. So optimism is good, and it's great that people are happy whenever they bought something, but always, and that's not just for any coin, but every coin, risk management is so important. Sometimes I get people asking, "Hey man, I bought $500 worth of this coin and it's now worth 10K. When should I sell?" And whenever someone says that to me, then you're pretty much already too late, because it's really nice that you earn so much money with the coin itself, but you need to take profits. I mean, there's a saying, no one ever went broke by taking profits, which is true. So how can you really spot it? It's I guess it's just experience. It's really hard to say, like to pinpoint saying everyone's really happy and this coin is going to go moon, but I think it's not. But I guess just important with every coin is risk management. Don't overinvest. Don't buy the coin with all the money you have or with any savings you have. Um, yeah, basically stuff like that. But I can't really pinpoint say this is something that makes me think the coin is going to go down. Pretty much if the on-chain analysis sort of works and I think is something that's safe, and the socials check out as well, then it's something I would buy. And I mean, you can't always win. You have to expect that you can't always win. Sometimes you're gonna lose. But yeah, that's just a part of crypto, to be honest.
If you look at the upside
that makes
potential
sense.
mostly, and of course there's still several other factors you can look at. You can look into the contract if there are certain functions that might be shady. It's not as common as last year where there was several functions like hidden mints and or just triggered honeypots. Those were also kind of a thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to be very technical about that. If it's renounced, for example, which is that the ownership is renounced of a contract, the owner cannot actually do anything unless, of course, there's an unlock function in it, which is also a classic thing. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can possibly look at when it comes to the contract, and of course, next to that, there's the supply distribution. How natural does that look? How much supply does the TMO? How much is locked in contract and in the contracts, and how much is in the liquidity pool? Because if there's not a lot in the pancake swap contract, for example, and there's a lot supply just circulating, that's just not locked or anything, the chart can see a lot of volatility over a very short amount of time. It can go straight to the ground within hours if one of them starts selling, and it starts a flood sell, and then it's game over within hours, and then it's
I can actually show you something if you're interested in that, Daniel. It's a third-party tool that we use, and I think a lot more people should use. I don't really want to promote anything, but it's something that's really easy to spot. It's called tokensniffer.com. And basically what you're able to do is, let me just open a coin, for example. You click the coin, and there's a couple easy links. This is actually one on Etherscan. Let me see if I can find a BSC coin. For example, let me take the one we just talked about, the Chico Inu. Real easy, small
Inu.
tip. Yeah, small tip, by the way. I get quite a lot of questions whenever I post something on Twitter of people saying, hey, how do I get the contract itself? Because they want to buy or they want to sell it, but they have no clue how to get the contract. Whenever I post something, and whenever pretty much anyone posts something, they usually add the pool coin link. So you have the chart, and then at the left, you can see there's a button that says Chic Contract. If you just click that one, and then you're able to see the token tracker over here, which says Shikoku Inu. So you click that, and then you get the contract address. So if you want to buy this token or sell it, you're able to paste this into PancakeSwap, and you're able to trade the coin itself. So then for the token sniffer, we just copy this address and we paste that into token sniffer. And what this does is it sort of scans the token itself. You're able to see the charger at the top, and as you can see, like it gives an audit, see what kind of number they're giving, and what checks it's not getting. And as you can see, like I have to say though, this is a summary and an automated test, so always do your own research. I mean, it's nice to have this as a sort of quick check, but always check it for yourself. But what you're able to see is it says the token is sellable, which means it's not a honeypot at this time. So you're actually able to sell the token whenever you buy it. And like we mentioned, this token does have a high fee. It has 8% buy and 8% sell, which they think is bad for a token, which sometimes it is, but that's just something that we know. Now it has a verified contract source. The ownership has been renounced, which is what Paul just said. The creator doesn't have any special permissions to be able to change the contract itself. This is something that's important. The creator wallet, so the wallet that actually made the token itself, does not have more than 5% of the circulating supply. And I mean, I probably don't have to explain to you why that's important, because say you make a token and you have more than 5% of the entire supply, you're able to dump on everyone and sort of sell everything, and everyone's losing money. So that's an important check. And this one as well. All the holders possess less than 5%. So what does this mean? There's no real whale. So no one really has more than 5% of the supply, which again enables people to sort of dump on everyone. So this is important as well. This is what we talked about before. Yeah.
Let me interrupt you real quick. Where can you buy these tokens actually? Because I'm looking at the screen and I'm thinking, wow, these could be interesting projects. Where do I find this token? Can I find it on Binance?
It's actually a good question. You cannot find this on Binance. You are
It's
able
on the
to.
Binance chain, but you trade it
Yes,
through PancakeSwap. Or
exactly.
yeah.
It is on the Binance chain, which was made by Binance, but the token itself is not live on Binance yet. What does this mean? Binance has a how do you say it? Like they have checks before coins are going live on Binance. So you have to be like you need to be bigger to get on Binance itself. So this is not on Binance, but this is on PancakeSwap. And
Right.
how can you buy this coin, or how do you go to PancakeSwap? Once again, if you open the chart, which I usually post and pretty much everyone posts, there's a small button at the top which says trade. You click that. And whenever you have your wallet, your Trust wallet or your MetaMask wallet connected to PooCoin, the website PooCoin, you're able to buy it over here. So say you have one BNB, for example, you're getting this amount of chic, and you're able to trade here.
Liquidity
Now
pool will always be on PancakeSwap, but you trade
Yes.
through this front as a.
Yeah, it's basically a front end which sort of is like an easier UI, but in reality you're actually trading on PancakeSwap itself. So what can you do if you want to go to PancakeSwap? There's a button over here, but you're able to go to PancakeSwap for yourself. It's basically the same clicking that link or just going to PancakeSwap. What this does is it automatically imports the contract address for you. But let's say you have no clue how to do this, so we're going to start again, just for people who don't really understand. You go to PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap.
.finance, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap Finance. Yep. And there's a button that says trade and then swap. So you click that.
There's a small delay on the Binance Live in comparison to what you're seeing on the stream. So maybe, do you have the Binance Live open as well?
Yeah, I do.
If you look at that, it's like a 2-second delay on Binance Live. So maybe we can look at the Binance Live to see what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me make it a bit bigger so I'm able to actually see what we're doing. So it's easier for everyone to. Let me open that up.
I think it's easier to follow.
Yeah. So right now we're on PancakeSwap itself, where you're able to buy the coin. Usually you'd have it says at the top right, you'd have the connect wallet button, which connects your Trust wallet or a MetaMask wallet. So you have BNB or BSC or a BUSD. It doesn't really matter, just any coin you have. So how do we actually buy the Shikoku Inu? What we do is we click the little cake button. Let me just see whether it. Yep, Binance Live has been added. And there's a small how do you say it, input box. So we go to the contract address of Chico Inu, which we paste it in the token sniffer as well. We copy that. And then we go back to PancakeSwap. And we paste that in. And then you can see there's a Shikoku Inu popping up. So we click import. And then it says, pretty much says, always research the coin itself, because it's not a known token. So be sure it's the right one. So you click I understand and then import.
Right.
And then
Awesome.
it shows the chart of that token, and you're able to buy it through PancakeSwap. So say you have one BNB, which we did at the PooCoin as well. We enter one BNB. Then if you buy it, you are supposed to get this amount of tokens. However, like we just mentioned, there's usually a buy and sell tax. So say you were buying this you're sort of executing this transaction, you're getting these amount of tokens minus the 8% buy tax. So basically, you're getting the 8.7 trillion tokens minus 8%. So 0.92 times this amount of tokens. Something that's really important to know, and you have to change, otherwise you're not going to be able to buy this coin. At the bottom, you see slippage tolerance of 0.5%. And basically, let me explain it really easy. What this means is how much percentage do you allow for the price to change before executing your transaction. So what you're saying right now is whenever I execute this transaction and I'm getting 0.5% more or less than this amount of tokens, excluding the buy tax, then you don't want the transaction to go through. Then the transaction has to fail because you don't want to sort of make more money by getting more or lose money by getting less than the amount of tokens you want.
All right. So, sorry, we're gonna move forward to the question because we have a couple of questions, and I think this is the explanation was just super clear. I think we know how to research it, we know how to find the tokens on PancakeSwap, we know how to paste the address, find the token, purchase the tokens. So I think that's
me and Al can go hours and hours about this. We've only scratched the surface here. There's so many more aspects you can look at, and but yeah.
Right. That's why I'm here. Hopefully, I can contain this into a dense format. Thank you so much for this explanation, Alt and Paul.
Yeah, sure, man.
Great stuff. So we're gonna move forward to as I mentioned at the beginning of the AMA. This is obviously an AMA, meaning ask me anything. So basically, you can ask us anything in regard to the subject DYOR. So I saw a couple of questions coming in the live comments, and those questions were unrelated to this topic. So please, guys, if you have any questions about the topic that we're discussing right now, send in the questions in the live chat. My colleague is monitoring it, and he will pick them up. He will send them to me, and I will ask him live after the submitted questions. And the submitted questions were sent in through Discord, through the Discord Benelux Binance channel. All right. We got a first question from Shinwi, and Shinwi asks, how to know which altcoin is going to pump?
How to know which altcoin is going to pump? Yeah, it's a good question, actually.
Don't we want to know? Don't we all want to know, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the answer, I guess. How do we know? I just say no one really knows, to be honest. But by doing the things we talked about, by researching a token, you're sort of filtering the 90% bad ones already. So you're left with the 10% that are the token itself is good and has a good community. Yeah, how do we know it's going to pump? Whenever I see, the checks I do when I think the token itself has a future and has a good community behind it, I just take the risk and buy something out of it.
Right.
And then,
do you, by the way, next to small cap gems, are you still investing in higher cap gems, or is that all?
Yes, I do have a but I've like the small cap ones I trade on a daily basis, so multiple coins a day. But the big ones, I mean, I'm a really big BNB holder. I'm a big fan of BNB, so I've got BNB as well. But that's just something that I keep for a long term, just because I believe in the BNB coin and the BNB chain. So I guess that's a big cap coin. So yeah, I still do invest and trade the big ones, but not on a daily basis. So I just keep them for long term, and then the BSC part and the BNB chain part is the short term day trading part.
All right. Thank you, and thank you, Shinwi, for sending that in, man. It was a good question.
Yeah, good question. If he knows the answer, then let me know.
I'll follow up on that if Shinwi replies. All right, thanks. So Radiots asks, and this is a long question, so please bear with me. Do you think that doing your own research to find the best influencers who perform over time and show serious signs of trust may be enough to invest in a project that you do not fully understand?
I'd say always do your own research. I mean, I understand the part. I'd say always do your own research because it's important. I mean, someone can just post something that they have no clue about, and you would buy the token itself without actually doing any research. So I'd say always do your own research, no matter who it is, no matter who you think you believe. However, you can't always know everything. So whenever there's a new token which has something new or has a new part or a new hype that's sort of starting, I'm not saying you can't invest, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but like influencers like you, and do you believe that if you follow multiple influencers and select them by doing your research, do you think that's enough, or do you think what is the added value of doing your own research, like your actually your own stuff?
I'd say following the influencers like me, for example, sort of usually, or the ones that are actually legit and the ones you think have a good record, show already filter out the most important tokens for you. The research we just did, the process we go through, usually influencers do that, and then whenever you're following them and buying into their coins, you're already getting usually the more like the top 10%, if you know what I mean. But still, whenever someone posts something, always check the contract address, check the chart, check the transactions, check the taxes, because someone might have missed it. I mean, always do your own research, but I do think that following influencers like, for example, me, or other influencers for that matter, will sort of get you to 10% already. That doesn't mean they're always going to pump and you're always going to make money. Absolutely not. I mean, I've invested in a lot of coins which I thought were going to be big, but turned out to be an extreme dumbfest. But I
Don't we
think
all?
that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that following the influencers and perhaps buying into the coins they promote sort of filters out the 10% already.
Right. Thank you.
Influencers
Thanks.
give you
Paul,
a
do you have
slight
anything
edge,
to
of
add?
course,
Oh,
but
there you go.
What's that, Paul?
Yeah.
influencers give you a slight edge. There's a couple OGs out there who always have insider information or good alpha. You should they can be trustworthy, but you have to be you go into the chart and you look at it and you think, is this a good entry point or not, or am I too late to actually do anything, or is this as good as he says it is? Always do a little part of have an extra look on the Telegram, on the Twitter, have a look at the contract or at the supply distribution, and then try to assess, is this good? Does this have upside potential for me? So you don't want to buy the top, and
Yeah, something that's easy to add or might be important to say. We all know the sort of pump and dump that happen and probably are still happening. But people think it's a lot easier to do that than it actually is. For example, I sort of promote coins that I think are going to go to the moon and invest in. And whenever the coin doesn't go to the moon, people are usually saying, "Hey man, you just dumped on us, and the token went down." But that's not really how it happens, because whenever you have a token that has a market cap of 500k or something like that, if you want to dump on that, then you need to either have a lot of money or you need to have a lot more followers than I do. I mean, if Elon Musk is going to tweet about something and then it really will pump and dump. But people like me or sort of promoters like me or influencers like me, they don't really have the power to do that. You'd need a lot more following to do it.
That's interesting. So only guys with large followings, or guys or girls, or people with a lot of money, they are able to do the pump and dumps, or is it?
Well, I'm saying that people think it's easier than it actually is. So sometimes when I buy a coin or promote something, sometimes people say, "Hey man, you're just promoting this to dump on all of us." But that's impossible, because if you have a token which is 500k market cap, if I were to dump on them, I'd have to buy the 100k of the token itself, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And the same goes for the pump and dump. Whenever you post something, whenever I post something, it doesn't mean the token itself will go 5x within 5 minutes. Absolutely not. The token we just talked about, I posted in this morning, and now it's at 3x, 4x. But that's not just because I promoted it, if you know what I mean. It's like I said,
Yeah.
we do research. It's a team behind it. They have marketing lined up. The token itself is a good token. All those factors are the reason why the token is pumping, not just because me or any other influencer for that matter just posted.
That's interesting. Thanks for answering that honestly. And yeah, I have another one from Riddiards. What are the best tools to do your own research? Are there any magic tools? What are the best trusted third parties to do this work on part of it for us? So the last sentence was a little off, but I hope you got the essence.
I'd say for the token and the on-chain analysis, then the token sniffer website I just showed is this one. Sort of does 80% of the work for you, and then the research we did with the liquidity, with the contract itself. I guess those two are the ones that show you like 90% of the work, or do the 90% of the work for you. So yeah, I guess that's the magic key. I guess there's no real magic website that says you should buy this token because it's going to go up. That's not really how it works.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have anything to add there, Paul.
Yeah, this it's just how advanced you want to make it, how much time you have to spend. Of course, you can always look at the wallets itself, go in as deep as you want to go. The BSC chain gives you everything you want to know. If you really want to dive into a token, you have to look on BSC scan, look at the transactions, look at the contract, look at everything that's possible, and then assess if something's good or not. But of course, tools, yeah. Token Saver is good. PooCoin is good. There's a couple. Dex Screener is also great. I love the Dex Screener. Yeah. And yeah, there's several tools also with liquidity pools, so you can check on the liquidity pool pages like Mudra or Team Finance or any other things where they lock liquidity, and you can actually check if it's actually locked in, how long, and by who. And of course, with pre-sales and other things, you can go to Pink Sale or other things. There's a lot of things. If you really want to dive into it, you can go into, if you want to do whale tracking or anything else, you can use Nansen and other things, but those more NFT related. It's just how much time you have on your hands to spend on it.
Right. Is it fair to say that it's a clever use of? Is it fair to say that it's just clever use of existing tools?
Yeah. I guess that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, they're there. They're easy to use, and they're free, so it's accessible to the masses. So,
this is actually like a small tip, by the way. This is Dex Screener, and it shows the charts just like PooCoin. But what Dex Screener has is multi charts. Let me zoom in so people are able to see the link. It says dexscreener.com/multicharts. What this enables you to do is add multiple charts in one screen. So basically what you're able to do is, let's say we take the Chico in real quick. And we take another one. We have the token runner one still open, so let's take that. So let's wait for the Binance to, yeah. So what this does is it enables you to add 16 charts, as you can see, and it's just something that it's easy. It makes your life a little bit easier because you don't have to open all the charts, but you're able to see the live price action happening, and you're in just one screen basically. If you want to get these are the lines. If you want to get the candles, then we click the candle button. Yeah, just a small tip. Whenever I'm investing in multiple coins, or whenever I think multiple coins are sort of going up, because after a dump, for example, if you want to invest in this one, but you want to wait for the pump a little bit first, like to bounce, then opening these charts or this screen actually makes your life easier and just helps you out.
Right.
That's just
That looks interesting. Yeah. How many charts do you have? How many charts do you usually have open at the same time?
I wouldn't say 16, but I've definitely maxed out the 16 quite a few times. Yeah.
Just to monitor
What were you saying, Paul?
Also, if you go to say go back to token sniffer, for example, and you want to make an assessment of for example, now just go back to that specific token.
Yep.
And then you click on that button called bubble map. If it loads, let's see. It's also a nice little feature just to take a quick look at the token distribution, if the wallets are connected or not. And see, for this example, that's the supply in the middle, and those are all separate wallets. So if those wallets are connected, for example, you can see there are certain owners that have a significant amount of the supply, and that's a huge risk when it comes to the chart, because if they all sell at the same time, you will see a lot of red candles. This one looks pretty good at this point. You don't see a lot of whales. Distribution is decent, and there's not a lot of connections as well. So that's also it's a good little thing to take a look at. While distribution is always, and then yeah.
Oh, that one giant dot in the that's a whale?
I think it's either.
I think it's liquidity right now.
Oh, okay.
Probably. Let me see. Oh, no, it's a dead one. It's a dead address.
It's
they
burned.
it.
That's also safe. Yeah. So there's some connections to the wallets, which is all right. So some might have a couple percentage of the supply, which is not that big of a risk. But yeah, distribution looks all right. We're seeing a lot worse.
The big dot, as you can see, if you hover the mouse, it says 0x000 dead. So it's a dead address. And if we go back, I think it actually tells you that. Yeah, as you can see, it says tokens burned 50%. So 50% of the entire supply has been burned. So usually sent to a dead address, which is no one owns the address and no one is able to do anything with it. So sort of 50% of the entire supply is at the dead address, so can't be used anymore. That's why you see the big dot.
Yeah. Okay. For this token specifically, I would argue that the biggest risk right now is still supply, most likely, since we can already count out that the contract was renounced, so that's good. The owner cannot do anything. Liquidity is locked for a year. That's good. So it's only either supply or the hype dies out, and then you will see self-float. Those are two major risks at this point. But it already has, the chart's pretty pumped, so most people are already up big. So you'll see sell pressure definitely late at night. When the Europeans and the Americans go to bed, for example, you'll see that there's a flow of sells coming in because people like to tend to not sleep on their bags. And so you can always assume what's a good entry, what's a good exit. But
right,
yeah.
Right. Thanks, guys, so much for that answer and showing us the tools. I think it's very interesting. I like that bubble one, and yeah, let's move forward to the last sequence of this AMA, which is the live chat. We've been going on for quite a while now, so I think we should do a couple of quick live questions, and then yeah, let's wrap it up afterwards. So, all right, this is the live chat. So these are the questions that you send in the live chat on the right. And one of the users called Binance NQDZM, he asks, do you trade at Alto Crypto Gems? How to do research on that? Do you day trade? Sorry.
Yeah, I guess pretty much whenever I post something on my Twitter page, which is a coin, I invest in the coin itself, usually. So it all depends on the market, to be honest. Because if the market is bad, then not that many projects are launching and seem like they have a good future. So there's times when I invest in multiple coins, let's say 10 coins a day. But there's also times when I'm only investing in one or two. So yeah, like we said, I have my like long-term bags. For example, BNB is one of them. But I also still day trade. Just that's the way how I started the Twitter channel. I just liked trading on BNB chain. which I still do on a daily basis. And
Or does
whenever I
he
think it's a good
specifically
one.
mean also do spot trading, leverage trading, or futures, or?
Does
He
he mean
didn't
that?
specify. I think no. I think he just mentioned. You could just ask, do you day trade? But it was at the beginning, so maybe. And I think most of what we explained today was about day trading, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do leverage trade as well. Just for, if anyone's wondering. But I think leverage trading is yeah, it's like a casino. So always be careful with that. But I just like doing it, and yeah.
All right.
That's it
All
pretty
right.
much.
I'll move on to the next question, which is from Binance 99VU, and he asks, "How long do you hold your token positions averagely, on average?"
That's a good question, actually. I can't really say how long I hold them because it's different for every coin. But something that's really important, which I'm probably going to post a tweet about later, is when to sell. And we can talk about this for another hour. But let me make it short. Whenever I have a coin and the coin itself goes 2x or 3x, I'm taking out my initials. And I think everyone should be doing that. Whenever let's say you invest $1,000 or 1K, and the coin goes to, or the value of the coin goes to 2K, 2.5, 3K, then I definitely take out the initials. Take out your 1K. So everything that's in it right now is just a moon bag. You're not going to lose any money because you took out your initials. And what I then do is whenever that moon bag 2x's or 3x's again, I'm taking out the initial moon bag again, and just keep rinse and repeating like that. And eventually you're gonna get tokens where you're in for a complete moon bag and you took out initials with a lot of profits. Then it doesn't really matter if the token itself dumps or collapses. I mean, you still like it to pump, of course, but if it does collapse or sort of goes down, then the loss is a lot less than whenever you didn't take out the initials. So I'd always advise people to do that. How long do I hold them? Yeah, it just depends on how fast the coin pumps or dumps. Whenever that happens, like the 2x, 3x, I just sell it. And whenever it dumps way too much, I just take the loss and move on. I mean, don't marry your bags. Don't wait for the minus 90%. So whenever it goes down, like let's say 50%, I usually just take out my initials or the bag itself and move on to another coin.
All right. So
Yeah,
2,
for low
3x
guys
is your
below
threshold?
100K. So for
Sorry?
low guys below 100K, it's always you don't hold very long. It's
Yeah.
you take your initials as soon as possible, and then you shave down with the chart, and then have a look how it goes, and overall that will probably yield you the most profit.
Yeah, the long-term bags like the BNB one, for example, I don't really sell that at a 2x because it's a long-term hold. But like the coins that we usually talk about and the small caps like the 500K and less, I definitely say 2x or 3x, just somewhere in between, or let's say 2 or 3x whenever you're behind your PC able to sell. Take out your initials and then let the rest moon back. And whenever that 2x's, 3x's, take out the moon back and just rinse and repeat. That's what I usually do.
Thanks for the answer, and thanks for sending that in Binance 99VU.
Yeah, good question.
All right, we're gonna do two more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So, one was asked by Frexky. I hope I say that right. Once you have identified an interesting coin, which platform or DEX do you preferably use to buy it?
I always use the PooCoin Trade or PancakeSwap. It's the one I've always been using, and I still think it's great. And sometimes PooCoin is a little bit easier. Like the trade button I talked about, the trade button at the top.
Yeah.
That's just really easy. Whenever you connect your wallet, it's easy to swap, and you're looking at the chart anyway. So I usually just trade this screen or PancakeSwap itself for BNB, of course. So yeah, that's basically how I trade, how I buy and sell the coins.
All right. Thank you for sending it in, Frexky. And the last question is from Binance 2E8X. So there's a lot of variation in the usernames today. So can you also analyze NFTs with this technique?
NFTs is a whole different game. It's quite a year ago. NFTs, it also rides on hype. So it's also basically communities, and the communities basically more on Discord based. And you had certain tools to analyze NFT collections, like I think Nansen was a big one, where you would just chase certain collections and see what the whales were doing, what the whales were, which floors they were sweeping, and then you could see what's getting traction and what's getting the volume, and then you can make it educated best what will catch on. But NFTs is quite a difficult market at the moment, and I don't. It's a lot more going into the socials to quickly assess what is right and what's a good investment and what's not. It's quite a minefield on NFTs right now.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
I think
agree with that.
Right. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sending that in as well, Binance. So guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for sending in the live questions. Thank you for sending in the pre-submitted questions. And first, you guys want to plug anything?
I'd say definitely my Twitter channel, of course. I promote the different coins that we do research. Whenever we find something that we think is a great coin, we post that on the Alt Crypto Gems Twitter page. Like the one we posted today, which actually went 4x today. So I'd say definitely give us a follow if you enjoyed the content. And we actually make quite a bit of guides as well. The stuff we talked about, which is on our website, altcryptotalk.com. Let me zoom it in a bit. So if you want to start learning or are interested in a blog that we create or a newsletter, definitely check out altcryptotalk.com. And next to that, just follow the ad altcryptogems.
All right, thank you. And obviously, I'm going to plug something as well, because please follow us on Discord, Binance Benelux Discord. You can pre-submit the questions there when we announce the AMAs. So those questions are definitely going to get answered during the AMAs. So make sure you tune in and send in the pre-submitted questions there, and we'll answer them on these AMAs. Also, go to @Binance. Let me make sure I say that correctly. @Binance Belgium. Yes, and please follow us there on Instagram. We get great news, and obviously the benefit of following us on these channels is that you get to speak with Binance Angels if you have any issues, if you have any questions, or if you have any, I don't know, tips to the community. People are talking about trading as well, and it's fun, and let's interact. And yeah, I had a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for spending so much time. I mean, we went on for almost 1.5 hours.
And there's so much more we can still go into. We can go into gas fees, we go into the contract, go into distribution. There's so many little things we can talk about for hours and hours. We're just scraping the surface right here, but yeah.
Yeah. Just a quick interruption. The Discord link is in the below the Binance live screen.
Right.
The details, the comments, you're able to see the Discord link itself. Definitely check that out.
You can see the Twitter handle of Alt Crypto Gems, and you can also see the Discord channel link. So please check that out, follow us, and see you next time. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the host, and see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. It's great.